16th. The Gold Rush and the Chinese. The Gold Rush started in 1848 when James Marshall was building a mill for John Sutter. While he was building it, he spotted something shiny in the American River near the Sierra Nevada mountains. It was a shiny yellow rock. He took several tests with his boss and they confirmed it to be gold. News of his discovery spread fast and all over the country. It spread to other lands too, including Mexico, Europe, Australia, China, and South America. Miners and the everyday, ordinary people came rushing to California in hopes of striking it rich. They all spent almost all of their money for this trip. There would be no going back unless they hit the jackpot. Chinese were a large part of the gold rush. The majority of the Chinese wanting in on the gold were mainly poor peasants who heard of rumors of fast fortunes, lots of fine clothing, and plenty of land and homes. There were also farmers who were looking to make a fortune. Nearly 20,000 Chinese poured into California. It was soon filled to the brim with miners looking to find gold and get rich. The Native Americans suffered the most when everyone came. Disease and violence wiped out over half of them. The common miner was a young American male with big dreams. He was a hard worker who normally was looking for a better life and to make some money. In all reality, many of the young men looking for gold were bored back home and were seeking adventure. Seeing a woman out in the mines looking for gold was a very rare sight. The main women who came along were single women with the hopes of finding a husband. Living in mining camps was a rough, hard, and scary lifestyle. The work was also hard. The miners had to sift through dirt all day, getting muddy and standing in waist-deep, freezing water. California hadn't even been made a state yet. Because of this, there were no police and no established type of government, which meant no laws. The worst parts were the fights over gold, which hardly ever ended well. People also fought over claims, which were what they called the land they had claimed and believed they owned. Not everybody agreed on property lines. There were murders, whippings, hangings, and mobs that ended in many sad and unfortunate deaths. People also died from tough mining accidents. Most 49ers, gold miners who went to California in 1849 in search of gold, didn't get rich because the gold ran out very fast. There were so many people that rushed to California, about 300,000, and there was only so much gold to go around. The Chinese were blamed for the shortage of gold. This was because they were new, there were many Chinese that came, and everybody needs a scapegoat. In this case, the Chinese were the unfortunate ones that got the blame. So many of them came and worked very hard. Although many were excluded and unable to work in mines, many of them still did pretty well. They were smart and took advantage over the shortage of supplies. They held markets and raised the price of common goods and items needed in daily life. Cartons of eggs could have been sold for $6, and at times a barrel of flour would have cost $400. The price on goods shot up due to a large and increasing quantity of people. The demand for these products was high. This was another reason most of the miners didn't get rich. They had to pay for the very expensive food and supplies sold by the Chinese and other merchants in order to stay alive and look for gold. The gold rush aided the cause of Manifest Destiny extremely. On top of showing the movement west, it was another reason that life in the west could be a benefit. The Chinese and miners that came looking for gold helped increase the population of California on a large scale. The gold rush helped California become the first western state in the U.S. and the 31st state overall. The end.